What is up, Retro Maniacs? Welcome to the Retro Card Chat Podcast. My name is Mike. I am from Mike's Retro Trading Cards, and I'm joined by two men that are probably still wondering if I have Liar Liar. They are Joe Day, EP Eric Pahalik. How you doing, guys?
Doing good. I don't get that reference.
Crazy movie guy? Do
I don't
you
know.
have Liar Liar? You don't remember that?
Now I do. See, you needed to say it in the voice. You needed
You want me to do it over?
No, this is perfect. That is right. That weirdo.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to tell the viewers about Crazy Movie Guy now. You can't let that just hang.
Well, back when I had my shop, we had this gentleman who was a little
Crazy.
eccentric, unique, different, unique, one or the
Yes,
other, whatever you
yes.
want to call
Yep.
him. And
Yep.
he would just randomly walk into my shop like all the time and say, "Do you have Liar Liar?" He was looking for the movie Liar Liar. I don't know if I had it or not. I really didn't want to give up the chance for him to keep coming back and asking. But yeah, so yeah, that's the story behind that. A little inside shop joke from back in the day. So yeah, Crazy Movie Guy Mark.
Crazy
Wonder if he's
Movie
still
Guy
around.
Mark.
Yeah. The good old days. But how you doing, Joe? What do you have for us today?
I have another crowler.
Whoa.
It is 9:41 in the morning, just for those of you who don't know. And it's Drink It With Your Mask On is what it's called. And it's 7.5%. So after I'm done with this, could get interesting. But speaking of the shop, I'm going to give a big shout out. You guys remember Brent H. I don't know if we should give last names. Remember Brent Eric's,
Yes, I do.
I guess,
Yes,
kind of
absolutely.
brother? He texted me today, or he texted me this past week and said, the podcast is awesome. He watches it.
We have a fan.
We have a fan.
Wow.
Back in the day.
That is
Brent.
crazy.
So cheers to Brent.
That's awesome. How you doing, Brent?
Cool.
So glad to have you watching. Thanks so
Yeah.
much for the kind words. Wow.
Yeah.
It's a little crazy to think about, people from back in the shop days actually watching us clowns now.
I know, right? You're probably thinking they're back at the shop.
Yeah.
They probably like there's nothing they haven't seen before, I guarantee that.
If Crazy Movie Guy is watching, he's really offended now.
He's probably going to comment, "Do you have Liar Liar?" I don't know what would have ever happened if I did. Like I don't know. I don't know if he would have bought it. Maybe he was just checking. Maybe he was doing some kind of like market research. I don't know.
Liar Liar, funny movie, great movie.
That is a funny movie. Haven't watched it in a long time, but
yeah, same.
Peak Jim Carrey, I think.
My first, the first movie I ever went on a date. The first date movie I was ever on.
Wow, great choice.
Shout out to Amanda.
Fantastic. All right. Well, you know what? No offense, EP, but I'm not going to talk to you too much right now because I want everybody to know we have a little segment at the end of the show called EP Did a Dumb Thing. I have no idea what this is about, and we're going to find out a little later in the podcast.
Find out together.
But we'll save our little discussion until then. Let's jump right into this week's news. This was reported by Paul Lesko on Twitter. You can follow him at Paul_Lesko. He is like a fantastic follow on Twitter because he's a lawyer and he posts all this legal stuff, all the little lawsuits that come up in the industry and stuff. And he's a great follow, has great content on there. And this week he put out that Upper Deck is being sued in small claims court for a fake 2004 Upper Deck Reflections Tom Brady autograph. Now, the Tom Brady wasn't specified in the lawsuit, but it was pretty easy to deduce by the fact that the guy was suing for $4,100 to $12,000 that the card was in fact a Tom Brady. Apparently, the autograph on it failed to pass authentication by both Beckett and PSA. So I'm guessing there's a pretty good chance that the autograph on that particular card is not legit. First of all, I just want to like, how does this happen? Aren't they supposed to be verifying that who's supposed to be. We know they don't, but this was 2004, like quite a while ago. You would have thought that they'd have better measures in place to make sure stuff was real, right?
I think
go ahead.
I think the craziest thing about it is that there were other ones from that same set, the same card that have been graded and authenticated, right?
Yeah.
So like there's just this one random one maybe. So you wonder if he had a bad moment when he was signing. It's like, well, that's what my signature is in this one, and just let it go. Or if somebody else signed it, like there's a lot of questions about it. But I like that to me, that's the craziest thing is that I would think that if there's a real issue with it, that it would have been the whole run would have been fake.
I looked at the autograph, and I watch Brady autos quite a bit, the rookie autos, and compare him. His autograph has changed over the years. We've talked about this before on the pod. But this one, it really does seem like he had to sign a lot of things. He tried to keep it in the sticker. I think it, to your point, EP, I mean, if this one was going to be rejected, you got to think all of them would be rejected, unless he was joking around and handed Deion Branch one and said, "Hey, have fun trying to sign my signature." Like, I don't know if Gronk was there, he totally would have done it. But this is Gronk,
he did throw the Super Bowl trophy at Gronk. So, I mean, he did throw it across the waterway.
Who knows what Tom might have been doing when he got a little drunk? Yeah,
right, exactly. But I mean, and we talked about it before too. Like during COVID, we kind of gave companies a pass because it's like you can't really go to the facilities, and you're just sending sheets of stickers to people. But this is way before then, So you would think doesn't it say on the back, or it does on most cards, this is authorized and was witnessed by, or something to that effect. I mean, that's a pretty bad situation if. And Upper Deck's still in business, so I mean, the guy might get paid. Yeah. It's not like it's collector's edge out there with a bad auto.
Yeah, well, that brings up a good question too, because the back of the card says it's authentic and that is guaranteed by Upper Deck, and you see that a lot. You even see it on the products today that they guarantee. But what does guarantee mean? Like, they don't give you any parameters of what guarantee means. Like, I guess we're going to find out. Yeah, I guess we're going to find out whether it has any legal meaning or not, and that could be really the big thing from this case. Like, it's a guaranteed authentic autograph, and then you find out it's not authentic. Like, what? We're going to let the courts, I guess, figure out what the company's liability is if they say it's guaranteed. Hopefully that means that they have to give some kind of monetary judgment against them if it's not real, right?
I've never thought to look. Do Topps or Panini or Upper Deck have anything on their website that kind of defines what their guarantee is on autographs and that, and really that sort of stuff? Like,
I don't know, but if I'm gonna guess, I think we're all gonna guess. Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, right. I mean, they might after this though, right?
Yeah, they should. They should. They definitely should. Yeah.
I mean, my biggest takeaway here is that the person did get lucky. I mean, it could have been from a company that's no longer in existence. Upper Deck hasn't made football in how long? Right. So the fact that it's an Upper Deck product, they're still in business. Maybe something will come from it. Maybe they have some information on it. It'll be interesting to see, because we always kind of, it's almost like a wink and a nod that we accept these things are authentic because it says it on the card. We just saw the thing with Leaf and Pele. How long ago was that? Just a couple of months ago, maybe. Yeah. Like, we just saw that get rejected, and Leaf pushed back saying, no, these are real. These are legit. I like in theory, I actually like what PSA is doing by rejecting these and not taking the chance. PSA and Beckett rejecting these and not taking the chance that they're not authentic. I'd rather them do that than just slab it. Right. Even though they'll slab those cards that aren't actual autographs and grade the auto. But yeah, at least they're living up to whatever responsibility that they have in authenticating them.
Do we think that Trout getting slabbed is part of the reason why they think they're cracking down a little harder on autos now because of that, and this is the reason for that, or do you think it was just that this is just a bad Brady
got
auto?
The right guy on the right day, or the wrong
guy?
Depending
I think this probably happened before that anyway, but
okay.
I mean, yeah, like we do take for granted if you pull a something out of a pack that is real. And maybe it is real too. That's the other thing. Like, maybe he just signed the autograph weird. Maybe he was doing something like the people that are authenticating, they can't tell 100% either way. That's just, they're using their best judgment on the information they have. So you don't know. Like, it is kind of weird that he would have one autograph so far that we know of in almost 20 years that wasn't legit out of it. So I don't know. Like, either somebody was screwing around and signed on one and it shouldn't have been put in, or he signed it weird, or what. But I think the case is actually really interesting, and what the ruling will be, I think we should all be watching to find out for that, because I think it could have big impact on the hobby.
Mm-hmm.
And as a buyer, my last point on this is I know that I've gone and looked for autographs of certain players, not Brady, I can't afford that, but like just other like Warren Moon, for example. I have a couple Warren Moon autographs. If I'm going to buy a card, I'm always going to buy one that came out of a pack, right? Because I'm like, oh, well, it's guaranteed, it's authentic. Now that's kind of calls that into question. Is it any more or less authentic than someone selling a mini helmet that got, authenticated by JSA or one of those companies? I mean, who knows? At this point, the only way you know if an autograph is authentic is if you hand the person the item, have them sign it, take a picture with them, and then walk off, and that's it. Then it's authentic. But that would call everything you have into question. And I'm sure this is just a small case, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot more out there. Comparatively speaking, a lot more out there that we don't even know about, that were slabbed, that are in slabs right now, is authentic.
It's funny you bring that up too. I saw on Twitter somebody, I wish I could remember what card it was or something now, but somebody, when they were younger, had a wrestling, it might have been Razor Ramon, I don't really remember, but had an autograph that he got in person, had a picture of it, sent it to PSA, and you want to guess what happened? They wouldn't authenticate it. So
I vaguely remember hearing about this.
Mike. Yeah, so there was a guy that 100% beyond a shadow of a doubt knew that was real and sent it to get authenticated, and it came back that they wouldn't authenticate it. So it's kind of a crapshoot. They're going to make mistakes both ways, I'm sure. Right. Like, how do you know for sure if somebody signed an autograph? It's not inconceivable that people can learn to forge somebody else's autograph pretty well. So,
as a company, PSA has to cover, CYA. They have to cover, they have to take care of themselves too. They can't take any chances.
Well, speaking of PSA taking care of themselves, this week,
that
was a great.
That's a great segue.
Thank you. I'm getting better at this. Yeah,
you are so good.
But yeah. A little bit of news this week came up when a picture of Nat Turner's PSA 10 1997 Michael Jordan Stadium Club Triumvirate Luminous card. I saw there's a YouTuber, Dan the Card Man, had done a couple videos on this, and the card, if people aren't familiar with the card, I'll try to get a picture of it and put it up here, but it's, the triumvirate cards were really die cuts everywhere and everything. Really tough cards to get a 10 really on to begin with. Right. Yeah, very cool cards. Really cool cards. But there was clearly part of the front of the card on one of the little parts sticking out that was missing. Like, I don't know if the surface was just not there, if the paper was ripped off, something happened to it. And the card is owned by Nat Turner, and it was graded a PSA 10. The rest of the story is that card was a card that he bought that was slabbed BGS 9.5, and the card was in the same condition. So BGS clearly missed it when they graded it, but then somehow PSA also missed it. I mean, Ed, I don't know what's going on, but regardless of what's going on, people are going to look at this and go, yeah, okay, it's Nat Turner, it's his company. They're giving him 10s. Like, I have a hard time believing that it was cracked and looked at by another grader. I feel like maybe they just glanced at it and crossed it over and gave it a 10, right? Like I don't, how does this happen? Let me know, Joe. You're Mr. PSA. Give me some insight.
I'll tell you what, if any of us set this card in, it's a 7.
No, it's not even a 7. It'd be like a 4 or 5. Yeah.
Yeah, like
it's that bad.
There's no way. It clearly, everyone knew this was Mr. Turner's card. They shuffled it through the system, and they never looked at it. They cracked it. Oh, it's a 9.5. It's Nat's card. It's a 10 now. I mean, I don't even think that's a question, right? Like, this isn't a conspiracy pod. This is like, this is what happened. And oh well, Beckett's they're good enough. Well, I guess if they say it's a 9.5, close enough. We'll just, since it's Nat's card, we'll just make it a 10. But again, that happens at anyone else in the world. It comes back its actual grade, which, like, you're saying a 4, 4, 5, 6, whatever. It's definitely not a 10.
Yeah, no chance of 10.
We've seen bad 10s. This isn't a bad 10. This would be a bad 8.
Yeah, it's not. We're not nitpicking over a little bit of white here or a little bit of off center. Like, this card is clearly damaged, and go through the 2 oldest grading companies and get 10s with both. I feel like it's highly unlikely. So I think BGS made a mistake and PSA didn't, but they just slabbed it for Nat. But I mean, I don't know.
I own a couple of the baseball, a couple of the football triumvirates. I never saw the NBA. It's a really cool card. So it's such an awesome card. And you can make some arguments sometimes with this stuff that it got damaged in the case, like after it had been slabbed. But this doesn't. I mean, there's no way that amount of damage I think could happen in the slab, like in any slab ever. So that was before I made that opinion before I even knew that it was a crossover from another company that already had slabbed it like that. So yeah.
By the way, the one thing graders always tell you, like or not graders, folks that submit a lot of cards, like Alico 3 and folks like that, never cross over. It's a fool's errand. Never cross over. If you have a 9.5, chances are it's going to be a 9 or lower. Crossover is a terrible choice. I mean, asterisk, unless you're Nat Turner. Then it's a great choice. I'd be crossing over. I'd be buying 9.5s as I was Nat all over the place, because they're just going to slap a 10 on them, right? I mean, if they're going to put a 10 on this one, they're going to put a 10 on everything.
I guess Nat had responded and said that, gave the whole, all of the submissions, even his, are done anonymously. And, said that he was going to wait until he had the cards back in hand and he would look into the matter. But
I love he plays it up like he's waiting 120 days.
He walks 487 days or whatever.
Right. What the line was. He's walking to in the doors going, "Bring me my cards. Bring me my cards."
Yeah.
There's no way he's waiting.
Well, and Ziggy No brought that up on Sports Card Channel here on Sports Card Show. Sorry, here on YouTube, and like he had a video about it. He's like, "Yeah, Nat owns the company. Like, people, what do you think this can't happen? Like, you're being stupid if you think he owns the company. He can go in there and have them do whatever he wants to." And, he was a little over the top with the video, but the point was made, though. And it's a legitimate point. The guy owns the company. Like, we're not talking about any kind of government regulations on card grading companies. We're sending cards to a company to give us their opinion on what the grade is and put it in a slab, right? So, like, there's no law that says he can't do that. Right. He owns the company. So, like, we do need to open our eyes and realize.
I mean, if he's passing that off as a 10 and sells it as such, and that could be a fraud situation, right? I mean, I don't know.
Slabbed it, though.
He's not the one who decided it was a 10. Right?
Yeah, his grader did. His grader had a bad day or something.
Yeah. You're the most anti-conspiracy theorist out of the three of us. Mm-hmm. Do you think this is Nat Turner's card, we're going to cross it over to a 10?
It is tough to not see it that way. It is so tough not to see it that way.
That's telling, folks, right there. That is telling.
I don't think Nat Turner is walking in there, handing them their cards. Say, I want these tomorrow, and they're actually getting them to him tomorrow. I don't think he's doing that because I think he's probably more up and up than that. But yeah, I feel like.
Who's to say? What proof do you have that he's more up and up than that?
I don't have any proof.
He's a rich guy in America. Do we really think he's on the up?
Yeah, really.
Come on. Bezos, up and up. I mean, come
we
on.
have to, in the hobby, we have to stop thinking that anybody is up and up. Like, honestly, I think we need to start looking at everything. Well, we legitimately are, but we have no agenda because we have
no money. We don't have that kind of money.
No money. We don't have any cards that anybody care about. So
we haven't launched our company yet.
We have not yet, but we are going to. But we won't talk about that now. But yeah, I mean. Regardless of what's happening, you can't deny the fact that people are going to look at this and say it's happening. Like, the perception of it is really bad for PSA, I think. Oh yeah, Nat can get a 10 on his, but mine has this tiny little nick here and I got a 7. That's going to happen. Like, it's a bad
look. My Brady reveal video.
Exactly.
And let's compare that MJ versus the 2 Bradys I submitted that were a 6 and a 7. Come on. I mean, like, I'm joking, obviously, for a fact, but in all seriousness, I mean, you're right. You see these cards that have a little bit of white on the corner and they get dropped down 2 grades. And then all of a sudden you see a card like that where the person clearly didn't look at the card.
If he wants to prove it to us, he needs to send it to SGC.
Exactly.
Fair.
Send it to SGC, Nat. Let's see what they grade it. We've gotten 2 opinions from 2 grading companies. Let's get the other old one in there and see what they say. I challenge you to do that. Come on the pod and do a reveal with us when you get it back. We would be happy to have you on. But yeah, like, I mean, he does say that everything's anonymous, but we have to, one point you have to remember, they're a privately held company. There's no record of anything. They don't have to show us anything about how their company operates. And, you want to take people at their word, go ahead. But I think you need to question it when you see stuff like this happening. Like, I just don't feel like there's any way in the world that any 3 of us send that card in and it comes back at 10. So even if it's just for a crossover, I feel like we sent that card in for a crossover, it would come back a 5. They would have seen that right away. Like, it's not even hard to pick up in another case. So, I mean, there's something going on there. Right. Something. I don't know what it is, but it's weird.
If you're an employee and you know it's Nat Turner's card, like, you're not going to put a 5 on it, right?
Exactly. Like, it's like, who's going to do that?
Jesus, look at this thing. I can't make it a 5.
I'll get fired.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately though, like, seriously, I don't know, if it's Nat's card, you better give him the upper end of your grade. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
All right, so we're recording this on Sunday morning. Last night was the big WhatNot virtual card show. I'm sure you guys all attended and wanted to check out all the great cards by some of the biggest influencers on YouTube.
Fortunately, I was working.
Oh wow!
You say fortunately or unfortunately?
Yes, fortunately, I was working.
Yeah. WhatNot gave the big YouTube content creators and influencers $50,000 to go to card shows and buy inventory to sell at this virtual card show. Don't know if anybody noticed it or not, but there's a whole bunch of I have to spend $50,000 challenges videos out there by the big content creators. A little ridiculous. By the way, who in the world would call it a challenge to have to spend $50,000 at a card show? Oh, I only have 7 hours. Just really, like, at a card show, you couldn't buy 200 cards for $50,000 in 7 hours. Ooh, it's a real challenge, But yeah, so Sports Card Investor, Mojo Sports, Card Collector 2, some others out there. But yeah, you guys didn't watch it?
No, I watched. I'm flabbergasted. I
Mike,
watched.
what was your video? Where was your video?
Did you?
No.
Did you? Recording didn't work. Like
he could only spend $40,000. He could only spend $40,000.
My battery, I was on red and forgot to bring my charger. Yeah, unfortunately. And the Susquehanna Valley Mall show isn't until this weekend, so it just didn't work out time wise.
Maybe the
next
one.
Show
maybe with $50,000, you could just buy every table.
Yeah, I'll just walk up and say, "I'll take everything. Everybody go home.
Wrap it up." I watched one of these. Card Collector 2 did it, and I got through like 2 minutes of it. I'm like, I gotta shut this down. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. And Out of Touch. It is such a. We're in an economic recession. Mm-hmm. People don't know. People are like haggling with EP and I over stack sale prices. And you've got these influencers going to shows saying, "Oh my God, I have to spend $50,000 of someone else's money." I
don't think I heard any of them say that it was WhatNot's money.
Oh, really?
I didn't catch that they said that. They said they said that they had to spend it for their WhatNot virtual card show. But I don't know that any of them said. I could be wrong, but I don't remember hearing any of them say that WhatNot gave them the money.
I thought Sports Card Investor did say that. I thought Sports Card Investor did say that, but I'm not sure if I can't remember 100% if he did.
Yeah, we'll have to double check that, but but they're ridiculous.
Out of touch, just
like totally. Oh, look at us, we're spending $50,000. We have to spend $50,000 at a card show in this challenge. I mean, we don't come on here to rip other content creators and the ones that are the most popular, but come on, it's just absurd. Like I don't know, I'm not impressed by it, and especially when I know that WhatNot gave you the money. So like anybody could do that. Why not have like some, not us, some regular guy just go do it? That would be a hell of a lot more interesting than watching Jeff Wilson have to spend $50,000 at a card show in 7 hours.
And that's how they play it up. Like, I have to.
I know.
Oh my God, my arm is twisted.
Card Collector 2 had to do it in the 2 days of like the Dallas card show or something. It's like, really? Like, wow.
I thought the Sports Card Investor one was kind of fun to watch. The introduced drama was terrible. Well, no, but I like this. Like he was showing the cards he was getting, and he was talking about how he's trying to make a deal and what he's trying to get, like 80% of the price and stuff like that. And I think that kind of stuff. So like on a much smaller scale for the average, card buyer, like that's a good way to think about stuff. And to see some of those cards he was buying was cool. But yes, the introduced drama like really kind of evened out, like it made it so it wasn't
manufactured drama was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, I watch I watch people play Madden on YouTube, right? And they'll do if I don't make this challenge, I'm gonna have to give someone a Joe Burrow jersey. And they talk right, so it's like a $200 jersey. I'll give a random subscriber a Joe Burrow jersey.
So and that's why you watch the video.
Right. And they're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to have to give away my wallet's screaming right now." I'm like, "You have 1 million views. I'm pretty sure the views are going to take care of, So this like manufactured drama and like these stakes, it feels like they are the ones that have the stake in it. No, they don't. They have no stake in it whatsoever. It gives them views, right? It gives them content for days, I'm guessing.
It gives them $50,000 worth of cards.
Yeah.
Well, but I don't think they own those cards then. I think they're just
I'm assuming that I don't know who gets
that's
the money
my
from
assumption.
The sales, but I'm assuming WhatNot probably just gave them the money to do it. And because they spent quite a bit of money,
I think $500,000 at least.
Probably close to it. I don't know how many total that they had do it, but you got to think that they probably just kept the money.
But again, it's just mean, is this the time that we want to I don't know. To me, it's not. It feels like the really wrong time to do something like this. It just feels like, oh, here's a big company giving wealthy people money to spend money at a card show. I don't know. It's just off-putting to me.
the people that like that stuff like that kind of stuff. So
they do.
It's not marketed for us, and it's probably not marketed toward people that are watching us talk about this right now. But I wanted to say though, EP, like having been a dealer myself, and had to do this to pay my bills for like 14 years of my life, like that whole transaction part of it just was fake to me too, because he didn't have to get the cards at a certain percentage to be able to make a certain amount of profit to be able to pay a bill. That wasn't his money. So all that stuff to me, and maybe it's just because I have a different perspective since I was a card shop owner, but it was just it doesn't matter what you pay for those cards because you're selling them and
you're not actually trying to make
paying
money
for them. Right. Somebody else is paying for them for you. So you're just doing it to have product for this live stream card show that they're running, and you're not paying your bills. There's a big difference between somebody acting like they're negotiating for something in a YouTube video and all the people that do this in real life to have to pay a bill. That's all I want to say about that. But
have Chris Soule do it. I mean,
have somebody like us do it. Could you imagine how ridiculous how we would be trying to
Chris
spend?
Chris Soule does kind of do it though. He does. He buys collections and shows you videos and stuff.
And he's an actual dealer.
Yeah,
he actually has he's putting food on the table with what he does. He's not BSing like Jeff Wilson and Card Collector 2 and those guys. I don't know. It just feels so fake from them. Everything they put out feels so manicured and fake. And I just don't like it. I like seeing some of the cards that they show. That's fun, but I can watch another channel for that. I don't need the production value that they provide. And this fake kind of just.
I mean, it's all for views. It's all to make the money off the channel. They don't have to make money in cards because they're making money off their YouTube channel. They have a lot of subscribers. They get a lot of views. I'm guessing they're getting a pretty nice check at the end of the day from YouTube. So really, that's the thing. Anybody who wants to do this for real, don't take advice from people like that. Right. Watch Baseball Card Collector Investor Dealer. He does it for real. Get your info from people who are really doing it, not people that are just, making beautiful polished videos for people to consume on YouTube so they can make their money that way.
Yep, exactly.
What are your guys' thoughts on these virtual card shows though? I saw there was another one, I think, for Wednesday night. I don't think it's on WhatNot, but this kind of seems to be a new thing. I think they had them some during the pandemic, but they're pushing virtual card shows. Interested?
I mean, doesn't eBay do that every day?
I mean,
isn't eBay a virtual card show pretty much every day?
Yeah, but you have to seek out the stuff there. Where they're putting cards in front of you, so it's more of a walking around at a card show. So that's the draw there, and I kind of like that. I like to watch people do reveal videos just because you get to see all the cards that they, a huge bulk submission. You get to see a bunch of really cool cards on YouTube, and this is kind of a similar thing. Only you get the chance to buy them, but it's not something that I'm probably gonna. At this point, I'm not looking into participating or anything.
You don't have to be in the metaverse or anything, do you? Can you just?
I hope not.
Think so.
Let's hope. Walk around. I
don't know. So, Joe, you're a big Bert Emanuel fan, I heard.
I love Bert Emanuel. Did you see his son? I sent you guys a video. His son plays for Central Michigan. Just came up short. They overturned that touchdown pass. Just came up short.
Well, strangely enough, you sent me that this week, and I stumbled across an interview with Bert Emanuel about cards.
What? And you didn't send it to me? You're springing this on me now?
Well, yeah. This is a lot.
Gotta be surprised.
Okay.
Look at the smile on Joe's face. Look how happy
he is. I'm nervous and happy at the same time. I'm very nervous of what Bert might have said.
I find it interesting. First of all, he calls them bubblegum cards, which is
I do not.
Cool.
I mean, he's a little.
Yeah, he calls them bubblegum cards. He used to collect cards. He used to collect Rod Carew when he was younger. So. one of his
Wow.
favorite players, and they asked him a little bit about his opinion of his rookie card. I think it was his Fleer Ultra. He said that I guess a lot of the rookies shaved their heads back then because they didn't want to have to be bothered with their hair, like during
or they
camp
were
and stuff.
shaved because they were
rookies.
And like his picture was taken, he didn't have hair, and he said he looked like he was really tired. He didn't like that one, but he was talking about some of his other cards. But since you're a super collector of Bert Emanuel,
okay,
I was going to ask you a little trivia question. How many different cards do you think Bert Emanuel has?
Like throughout his entire career?
Yep, total.
Well, he was. So here's the thing: his rookie year was, or his rookie card was 94, I believe. So they didn't have like a lot of parallels and things. I'm gonna say 999. 999 is my guess.
EP, do you want to play the game too?
998.
Well, unfortunately, you're both over. He has 489 total cards.
489 total cards. Wow. That's cool. I mean, I might maybe. Is that a thing I do?
I think you should.
Like all of them? Get everyone?
If we're being real,
do it.
I have quite a few. I probably have 100.
Three of us, we probably have a good 90% of those 489 cards. Like
maybe I start the ultimate checklist off of what is it? TCDB
trading card database.
Maybe I start the ultimate collection.
When did he retire? What was those last year?
He was with the
I don't know.
Bucks, I think. I want to say it was 04-ish.
Okay.
Maybe a couple years.
Like 10-ish years or so.
Yeah. Man, that'd be interesting because he started. Well, the Bert Emanuel rule was when he was with the Bucks, but his biggest claim to fame was beating Mike in the 1996 Mike's Upper Deck League One championship game,
beating the greatest fantasy football team
ever assembled. It was like the Avengers.
I have no recollection of that event happening. You guys, you constantly refer to this, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
He just blanked out. He's just like, no, I have no idea.
EP,
yes,
your Albert Pujols 700 home run ball that you didn't catch. It's over $360,000.
It seems low.
That does seem low. I thought
that was a little low. Yeah, I thought it would too. But I mean, what is he, the fourth guy to do it? Who cares? Like 4 people did it. Why? I was thinking all along, why are we making a big deal about this? Who cares?
And he's like probably 100% gonna be the last one to do it, right? Like with the way things are right now in MLB, like he's probably the last one that'll ever do it, unless they increase the number of games to like 200 or something. Like he's probably the last one to get to 700.
They'll just wild. Juice the balls up a little bit more, and they'll hit like 70 a year. Yeah, that'll happen. One other little tidbit I'm throwing out there: CGC is now going to grade Star Wars cards with their comic book grading label. So that was kind of interesting. Are
they going to do DC at any point? I mean, that's kind of weird to me that they do Marvel, then they're doing Star Wars.
Do they not do DC?
No, from my understanding, it's just Marvel, not comic book cards. It's Marvel.
Well, I mean, with DC's new leadership, I think maybe DC is going to get some juice and probably we'll get going. Like,
let's hope.
I guess.
So excited.
Yeah. Gosh, it could be great.
James Gunn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything
needs to be like Peacemaker. That's all I'm saying. Everything.
Well, not everything, but more
fantastic.
Yeah.
And apparently, I guess they're supposed to. I guess they don't have a pop report out yet for the Marvel cards, so they're supposed to be starting that like later on this year. So that'll be interesting. Then we can actually get the breakdown of how many of those cards are actually graded.
And I want to start. I'm going to start keeping track of. I'm very interested in the sales. You know, the problem is they have the 9.5 right in theirs.
Yeah.
So it's like 10s are tough versus a PSA 10.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see the secondary market of like a 9.5 versus a PSA 9 or a PSA 10 in some of these cards.
Right.
Okay. So we've been waiting for it all week long. I have no idea what's about to happen.
So much anticipation.
All I know is EP did a dumb thing this week. And he wouldn't tell us what it is. And I'm glad he didn't. He wanted to save it for all the viewers of this podcast and us. So we legitimately have absolutely no idea what's going to happen here. If it sucks, it's not my fault. It's not Joe's fault wherever he's out there. Yeah.
I did send you guys a photo of an empty box, but that was all that I sent you guys.
Yes. And I had no idea what was in that box. I'm guessing might have to do with cards.
It did. This whole thing does involve cards. Yes.
Okay.
Yep, 100%.
Well, I am going to turn the floor over to you, Mr. Powick.
All right.
And lead us down the path.
Powick.
Okay. Please ask.
Sit back and watch.
Please ask any questions in case I'm unclear about something. But you guys know how I eBay, right?
Yeah.
I'll get home from work at like 3 in the morning. I'll get home from work at 3 in the morning. Oh no. I'll be looking up crazy stuff, and I'll bid like $5 and something's gonna go for like $500 or $5,000.
Yeah, that's why I mean barely eBay.
Yeah. Yes. So like I'll put bids in like I see something I really like that I think a good deal. I'll put in a bid like if I get this for this, it's a ridiculous deal, but I'll totally get it. So I had a number of these auctions that were going on, like so that I was winning, and I'm like, I never win these things. And then as I'm doing my search on one of the nights when I shouldn't have been searching with so many things already on the line, I found a deal for $175, 235 sealed packs.
What?
Wow.
And so, it is a variety, like 1986 cello pack, 86 rack pack, 87 cello rack packs, 90 Donruss, 90 Tops, cello packs and rack packs, 93 upper deck jumbo packs, 91 and 92 Sleeve Studio, like the whole run of Donruss from 89 through up through like 94, whatever, Fleer Ultra, 92, 93, 94, like multiple packs of each in this ridiculous order. I came home and I'm like, I got to get it. So
was it a buy it now situation?
It was buy it now. Yep. And so I bought it, and it's awesome. That was the empty box. The dumb part is,
did you open them all?
I did not.
Okay.
But
okay.
Remember all those auctions that I said about that I had that where I was winning? Well, I ended up winning another one for $150. And then another one for like $20, and another one for like $25, and then 2 other ones for $30. So I'm like, so all my money from my last stack sale is gone, and I had to move money out of my savings account to like over and then pay into my card account to pay for this. So like,
who are you? What is happening?
I have packages on packages on packages that all came in this week, but they all came in this week. So
wow,
that. I mean, EP, do you need Mike and I to lend you some money? We will.
No. I said, it was all my it was all my stack sale money. All my stack sale money is gone, and I had to move some money over from savings. I'm okay there, but I'm definitely not buying anything for a while. Like I wouldn't be able to spend $50,000 at a card show next weekend, Mike. I don't know if you ever thought about doing that. I can't see that.
Son of a gun.
So I have one of the things was like 1,600 cards. Just 1,600 star cards, and then like these packs. Like I will send you guys photos of these packs.
So they're packs and single cards.
No. One of the other auctions. There's packs, and then there's other packs. 2005 Tops jumbo packs. Got those for like I think they were $15 for 5 of them. But I mean that sounds like a good deal. I got those too. So yeah,
So what's the plan?
What do you mean? What's the plan?
Like, are you going to open them? Or are you going to sell them as
stack
sale?
I'm going to sell some of them as stack sales, but I mean, like, I didn't even know that they made jumbo packs of 93 upper deck and 91 upper deck of. So, like, I'm going to open some for sure. I mean, come on, I'm not going to open some of these. Are you kidding me?
Do you know?
We could do like he could do a 24-hour live stream.
I could do
him just opening all these cards.
I believe
Sports
I could
Card
also
Radio wants to tout their 8-hour live stream. We could easily double to triple that.
Yeah. with all the unopened stuff you have, I'll sit here and drink the whole time. By hour 7, it's going to get weird. But...
I definitely have to figure out a strategy because the amount of junk wax I now own is problematic.
I'm going to recommend.
So I'm going to figure out what I'm going to sell and what I'm going to keep because I'm definitely going to, like I said, I'm going to create like repack boxes for myself to open on the channel. Just roll some dice and grab some random packs. Now that I have this ridiculous variety, I'm definitely gonna do that.
Have you ever thought about, like, as you're going through the stuff, if you see a really, really nice pack, have you ever thought about grading it?
I've thought about grading like the.
You seem like the person that would collect that. Like, I could see you, like how you have Brady cards. I could see you having a display like Mike has behind him of packs.
There are some that I would think
that would be pretty cool.
But for me, it's the thought of having that there available for me to open if I wanted to open it is also part of it for me.
Well, you can still open it. You just have.
I'm not going to crack it, and then open it. Forget that. That's bananas. So yeah, I spent way too much money on cards.
But you traded, I look at it this way, you traded singles that you were selling for something you want. That's kind of how I looked at the stack sales. Like, it's not really a sale, it's a trade.
But I mean, it was a couple hundred more than that. So, but at the end.
If only you had like a card you could list on eBay that could take care of all that for you.
That's fair. That's a good point.
Well,
do you have one of those? Maybe two?
Like...
I don't. You mean this one?
No.
Carson Ragsdale from the
who's that?
Exactly. I got 3 of those.
Fantastic.
You have a few cards though you could list at this point.
Yeah, I could. It's a lot of work to list cards though.
It takes like 2
minutes. Well,
I listed a Brady Pacific Aurora rookie literally on my commute home. That's how easy it was. I was stuck in traffic. I'm like, boop, 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 bam.
I feel like the lesson is like, don't bid on stuff that you don't really want to win, even if you think, oh, well, this is going to be a great deal if I get it. Just be careful, especially right now with the baseball season's over, so that was all baseball stuff. So,
well, that is good advice. Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. All right, guys. Well, EP, hope you dig out of your hole there, but. Pretty good chat this week, and I guess we will see you next week. Take care, guys.
Adios.
See you, boys.